It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
I joined Chris Bongat on the last.
Oh yeah, you know Chris?
Oh, I know Chris. Yeah. Him and I did a country club.
Did you really?
In Danville, Illinois, like 2 months ago.
I said this on the podcast when I talked to Chris, but he does this thing where he will say something really kind of creepy and weird,
Yeah.
and then he just lets it hang.
Yes. And then the laugh hits.
Yeah, and people are squirming in their discomfort.
Yes,
It's kind of brilliant the way he does that.
He does. He's like the Garbage Pail Kids, or you have to like kind of like look at it. It's like, all right. Initially, you're like, oh god.
He's like the Garbage Pail Kids.
Yes. He's like the Garbage
So now I'm recording. Are you cool with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Great.
Look at this. It's Car Con Carne on Milwaukee Avenue, across from the Brewed, the Brewed. It's a homophone, like the Brewed, the horror movie. Brewed Coffee Place, part of Bric-a-Brac Records, which isn't open yet. We're recording on a Sunday. To my right, that is comedian Kevin Kellam, also on-air personality Kevin Kellam.
Yes.
Also wrestling journalist. If that is a legit title, you are a wrestling journalist.
A wrestling, what is, personality. Media personality.
Yes, a wrestling media personality. I do have sponsorship notes to read to make everything official. You are, as I mentioned, you're on the radio. You're on Q101, a station that I've been affiliated with for like 30 fucking years.
You'll never not be affiliated with it.
Oh, I know.
The last time you were at the building, you stopped in to say hi. I was doing a fill-in shift. And you're like, all right, I'll go. I was like, no, you're going on air. Like
That's right.
I was insistent to you that you go on air.
I forgot we did a break.
Yeah. I was insistent that you do it. Yeah.
It's funny. People ask me, do you miss being on the radio? I kind of do radio in my car now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of radio.
Would it be weird for you to go back to doing it in the studio and stuff?
Yeah.
Like that?
Oh, for sure. I kind of said all I need to say in radio. Like, I'm good.
Okay.
This is it. I'm still tangential to Q101.
Yes.
They get me into concerts every now and then.
Absolutely. There's a couple coming up, yeah.
Someone at the station should have warned me when I asked for Jet tickets that you'd be doing Picnic that same fucking weekend.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm locked into Jet as like Fantagram and all this stuff is happening.
You can bounce to both, can't you? You've done that before.
If you're paying whatever it is, like $100 to park at Salt Shed, you're locked in for the night.
Okay. All right.
That's it. You're not bouncing.
All right.
It is. So I've got to read sponsor messages. You're on the radio. Do you want to read one of them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Can I use my broadcast diction voice?
Yeah, I've got like 3 sponsors.
Which one do you want me to do?
You can read the first one. You can read Easy Automation.
Yes. I want my automation. I want it to be easy.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Should I make it conversational? Take it off the page.
Make it. This is brand new copy. I don't know how it's going to read. So do whatever you need to do.
Hey. So this is your home. Are you looking to transform your home, your office, because this is your office, or maybe your business, into a smart, seamlessly connected space?
Hey, you're ad-libbing too much.
You want it straight?
Read it straight.
You're giving me notes from the booth?
Yeah, I am. Kevin, if you could just read that straight.
Okay.
Thanks.
Looking to transform your home, office, or business into a smart, seamlessly connected space? Easy Automation is a local business headquartered in Aurora, Illinois, that delivers custom automation solutions tailored to your lifestyle. Whether you're upgrading your home entertainment, streamlining your office tech, or enhancing the atmosphere in your restaurant or sports bar, they've got you covered. Their expert designs and installs personalized systems from smart lighting and climate control to audio and visual distribution and a robust Wi-Fi network presentation, all managed through an intuitive app on your favorite device. Easy Automation makes technology work for you.
Wow.
Effortlessly, reliably, and always with your satisfaction guaranteed. Visit easy-automation.net. That's easy-automation.net. And call Dan at 630-730-3728. That's 630-730-3728. And take control of your environment today.
Amazing. Thank you, Kevin. That's Easy Automation.
I always do the repeat on the numbers.
I always do. Yeah, that's best practice. Car Con Carne, also sponsored by 90 Days in the 90s. Join record store owner Darby as she takes a trip back to the 1990s. You remember the 90s, Kevin Kellam?
Remember the 90s.
Remember the 90s. She jumps on the Gray Line, part of the CTA system, to time travel back to her carefree 20s. You remember your carefree 20s. Actually, you're probably not that far removed from them at this point. She goes back to soak up all the pop culture, the nostalgia you can imagine, and it's all the pop culture and nostalgia in Chicago from the 90s. I mean, that was a time. That was the time. I was there. It was.
You were in it. Are you a character in the book?
I'm not a character in the book. I'm just here to talk about the book. To learn more, go to 90daysinthe90s.com. Grab it on Amazon, wherever you buy books. Also, follow 90 Days in the 90s on Instagram for tons of Chicago scene and alternative music-related content. 90 Days in the 90s.
The Gray Line, is that one of the lines that's going to be cut from the CTA?
That's exactly right.
Funding?
Tag Publicity. If you are a musician, a creative, watching or listening to this show, here's some PR help. Tag Publicity is a music and event publicity company that is freshly distinctive. Tag Publicity is a full-service entertainment PR, talent development, branding, digital marketing, social media management, project management, distribution, content creation, booking, and public relations company. It's a lot of stuff, Kevin Kellam. Currently headed by Evan J. Thomas. Reach out to Evan anytime for any PR needs. Again, lots of creatives watch and listen to this show. Evan J. Thomas PR at gmail.com. You can also follow Tag Publicity on Facebook, Instagram, and the TikTok. All right, so this episode walks the fine line between Kevin and hell. My guest, Kevin Kellam, doing a live recording of a comedy album at Lincoln Hall. Before we get into that, last time I saw you, you very graciously participated in my recording for my episode 1000.
It was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And here we are, like 52 episodes later, in like half a year.
Half a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I'm doing too many of these. I do way too many.
You drill through them.
We're here on a Sunday morning. This is what I'm doing. But since last I saw you, I feel like the beard has continued to take a life of its own.
It's got more color.
At this point, it kind of you're doing interesting things with it. It's kind of straddling the line between yes, daddy, and dangerous loner.
A dangerous loner. There's a thin line between there's a thin line between Viking and hey, do you need help?
Blink twice. They're treating me very well here. So yes, Kevin is a host at Q101. We talked about that. Other stations. Were you doing stuff for Minneapolis too?
Yeah. So about in March, they made the phone call like, "Hey, can you jump on 93X?" Which outside of Q101 for people that are in radio, that's like one of like the. It's one of the, like the more regarded like
for sure
rock stations.
For sure. So you're doing part-time then?
I do weeknights. I do weeknights now.
Oh, you're every night.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. I didn't realize that.
It's so wild to me, you know, and it's kind of a fun town because it's one of those towns like Milwaukee or like any. You always knew somebody from there. You always had some type of connection there. I have an aunt who was a nun and she was with the Dominican order and she lived there for decades and stuff like that.
Good for you. Okay, I'm getting a little off topic, but do you have to learn a lot about the market to like deliver localized shit?
I didn't want to do the thing where you're on air in another town and you try to pretend you're there, but I want to do things that are about there. So I know Minneapolis has a very long history of beloved sports franchise that deeply disappoint the local economy and community around.
Yeah, you know how to speak to that.
And I enjoy, as you do, nostalgia. I enjoy dipping into nostalgia. So I constantly present depressing moments in Minneapolis sports history, and I dive into that. And maybe inspired by a certain Channel 11 show, there's always something weird and obscure about the place. And I'm on at night, so kind of like you always want to do something that's kind of like the kicker story of the day. So you tell them about the weird elf door that's in a park in North Minneapolis and stuff like that.
So I mean, you have to kind of dig in and understand the market.
Yeah, but it's also stuff that I against me. I play the songs you want to hear, and so I kind of do the radio that I would want to hear if I was, driving around in my car at night in Minneapolis.
How much about Bob Mould do you need to familiarize yourself with?
I need to familiarize myself with. I've gotten enough North Star references in there. I like doing that.
How about Paul Westerberg? Are you caught up on...
Gotta get some Westerberg in there.
Okay. Prince. That's it. That's all I know.
I do sneak some Prince stuff. Are we playing? Well, I don't know if I haven't played a Prince track yet, but I will sneak it on the beds.
Yeah,
I get some instrumental Prince stuff on the beds.
Okay, so I mentioned the album taping. This is happening August 9th at Lincoln Hall, part of the Windy City Comedy Festival. A comedy album. What's the goal? Is this a digital album? Is this something you're going to like go big with and press into physical media?
debating the physical media thing, but the more I think about it, I was like, I at least got to make a couple, even if it's just a small run, right?
I think so too.
Yeah. Even if I can, I would love to do the thing where I do like a very, very small run of it, and I do like a release of some kind early next year. I'm taping it in August. I
completely think so.
And then maybe use that to like propel to like get it to be bought by somebody to like present online, because I'm going to film it. The main thing is filming it. Now with comedy specials, it's filming it.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, you've done a million gigs. You've been on a million stages. Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really, really.
How many times have you done this? I mean, this is going to be your greatest hits, right?
Yeah. Well, part of it is it's like, oh, am I like physically spent with, because I'm doing. Be frank with everybody about this. This is the internal struggle. I'm doing radio about 6 days a week.
Yeah.
You know, and when I got really going with comedy, it was kind of coming out of the pandemic. I was doing it manageably. I'm on air in Rockford, but I do it from home. It's not as much. And then get out of the pandemic. All right, you want to come back to Q101? You've been away. You want to come back? All right, you want to do this and this? And I'm like, and I'm still do wrestling media stuff, which is my main gig with Sportskeeda as well. So I'm like, oh, I'm still going. I did Roast Battle. I stopped doing that last year.
Okay.
And that was like pretty amicable, but I wanted to keep doing it. But I realized like, oh, you're not going to be able to keep. It's like if you're a guy who plays in a bunch of different bands.
Yeah, you got to let something go.
Yeah. So that was part of it. And then I talked Roast Battle, I think the last time I was in a car with you. And so like that, like kind of like lessened my load. But then I realized like, oh, I have this ball material. And then Ariel Julie, who put together the Windy City Comedy Festival with a great team that she has with a lot of really, really talented people, and Claire and Rebecca and Queenie, who put the whole thing together. And they're working really hard on it. And a couple years ago, she recorded just 2-3 years into comedy. You know, I'm in longer than her, and I went and saw it, and I loved seeing it. And the bravery of, I'm going to put the stuff and it's done. That's the thing with comedy, is you put it and it's done. The part for me that's scary isn't just, can I go and nail this album? That's really nervous. But it's impacted by, am I going to have enough stuff after when I'm done to like keep going and do something else?
I mean, as far as being recorded and committing this to the public record, I mean, you have control of this. I mean, when you do a gig any other night of the year, people might be shooting you on their phones and putting that out there, and you have no control over that. Like, you can kind of control what that final product looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, if you fuck up something, you can edit it out.
Yeah. But part of it, another thing is, usually when comedy specials are done now, it's people doing like 2, 3, 4 shows.
And then doing like a mix
a mix of both. Like Joe List, who's a great comic, much bigger following than me. He did his album, and it's a cut between Zany's Rosemont and Zany's Old Town. And it's a very great album, and it's very, very cool what he did with it. It got released in theater like one night.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, I would love to do like I would love to do the Logan
or the Davis would be great for us.
And if I'm gonna go the local route, if I'm not like a name in New York, LA, and I'm really I want to try and do that too.
That would be so cool. I'm sold on the Davis.
You got the ball rolling in my head. Immediately when I put it out the space, I'm like, ooh.
I mean, the Davis, you could do something smaller at Facets. I mean, they're
I know a couple people at Facets, yeah.
I love the idea. Call. Oh, by the way, since we're at the Brewed or outside the Brewed, I got cronuts. It's not a croissant, it's not a donut, it's both. It's a cronut.
But it's French, so it's not. Oh, no!
Here, you grab that. Let me grab.
You got that?
I think
the phone fell. As customary of the listening experience for Car Con Carne, there needs to be a good...
There's a lot to balance in here.
There needs to be a good wrapper. I really laid into the wrapper opening there. I really wanted enough of this. So
that sounds so good, yeah.
Comes out. All right, so
that's what people come for.
Ooh, look at these.
Those are huge.
Look at that. Hang on, I got to hold that up to the camera. Look at that. Look at that bad boy.
Here, hold up right there.
Right there. Oh, man.
Look at that.
That is really good. All right, so they both the same?
Yeah, they're both the same.
Yeah, which one do you want?
They're both the same.
Okay, all right, sorry, yeah. ADD, one in 1 ear. Oh, man.
So this is a vanilla cronut from The Brewed.
Here we go.
And we're just going to stretch out this interview so that we can be at Bric-a-Brac when they open at noon.
Oh, yeah. This is just a precursor to us, like looking at Pee Wee Herman collectibles or something.
Did you see the doc? Paul Rubens?
I'm waiting to watch it with my girlfriend. But I know it's broken up into 2 parts, the Pee Wee Herman one. It's like a 4-part. It's like a 4-hour thing.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah,
I found myself not really liking Paul Rubens, rest in peace, the way he carried himself, but I was fascinated by the Pee Wee evolution.
What bothered you about him?
just came off very inauthentic, trying to be really clever.
Okay.
Not really, just a little full of himself.
Okay. All right. But
like, not what you want out of a documentary.
There were some clever quips and things he did in the trailer, which I guess in the trailer you want those hot lines that grab you. But I could see if I watched the documentary and it feels a little bit too performative.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's
not to speak ill of the deceased.
No.
But he wasn't into the documentary. I mean, he pretty much said as much, and he stopped his association with the filmmakers toward the end.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There are napkins in that bag. I think I'm desperately going to need one.
Here we go. I can already see myself being covered in frosting.
Yeah. The beer.
This is really good. I can't hold myself up on it.
This is super sugary. And I got the fire starter, named after, of course, the movie of the same name. The remake, not as good as the original.
No.
But it's, I think, tangerine, chili, coffee, whole milk. Not sure how I feel about it.
How's it sitting?
It's sitting fine.
Okay.
The stuff I put in my stomach is...
I believe the last episode, you record Ice House, right? I am a listener. And you're talking about your blood pressure.
I was.
I'm doing the radio thing. Hey, you want to catch that one, go to the deep archive. Yeah.
I did go for a physical. Blood pressure is perhaps not what it should be.
Okay.
So maybe we'll take a long walk around the block before we go to bric-a-brac.
Just to break up the capillaries?
Just to get stuff moving, get that heart moving, pumping, all the things. All right, so you've expressed some nerves. Mm-hmm. How long is it? An hour set? Is it?
It'll be about 45. And also, I heard the lineup of the people that are going to be on the show, and I get one take at it. So I get one take at it. The lineup is insane for the festival in general, because also I really want to emphasize this. Like, hey, if you hear about the Windy City Comedy Festival, but I can't go that night you're doing your album, there's dozens of shows. Mm-hmm. This is, I think, the best thing I've seen for stand-up comedy in the city of Chicago in years. We have I'm wearing the Lincoln Lodge hat, which is this great club that...
Yeah, I was going to say you're overdressed.
Yeah, I'm overdressed.
It's almost 70 degrees outside.
Yeah, I know. It was a little chilly, and I got one bald head, so I have to still wear the knit cap. I'm not giving up on it on June 1st. The Lincoln Lodge has been this club that really galvanized like comics doing shows for us, of making it possible. But then it made like all the other clubs, like a Laugh Factory and a Zanies and an Annoyance, kind of like interconnect everything. And now somebody's kind of like formalizing that. There will be shows for this festival across the entire spectrum of comedy. WindyCityComedyFest.com. Karen Fian, who's a huge comic, she's going to be doing the show before me at 7 p.m. at Lincoln Hall, and then I'm going to play after it. And it's Lincoln Hall, where I saw Oates of Hall & Oates. You know? And a place that has a Lollapalooza after show. It's one of those things where I do have the inferiority complex if I've always been maybe a feature, maybe done a host. I haven't had this from a club that I want or that from this. Or radio. I'm the weekend guy. I'm the part-time guy. I'm this. You know, like, there is that sense of like, all right, now I'm doing the thing that I've always wanted to do, and now I have to. It's kind of like I have to force myself to be the thing I've always wanted to do. Yeah.
It sounds like you're describing imposter syndrome.
Yes. Yeah. I have imposter syndrome, but it was like, no, you've been at the party this long. You have everything you're supposed to do. So Ariel Julie comes to me when she tapes hers like 2-3 years, and she's like, when are you doing this? She like, literally right after taping hers. And then Matt Drufke, who runs one of the best suburban shows, Aurora, Two Brothers Roundhouse. I'm going to run the album there on July 31st.
That place is insane, by the way.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't understand how it exists.
You get your steps in there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, and that's right off the train, and that's part of the reason why I love it, especially if I'm doing craft beers when I'm there. And I'm going to run the album there on July 31st, and then we're going to tape it on August 9th.
I think this is exciting.
Yeah.
Do you have like a full crew? Are they people I know?
There's some Q101 people that are going to be shooting it. Hopefully, we've had some discussions with it, and then they'll film the whole show before us, and then film after. And I have artwork and other things I'm putting out and things like that. I got my brother to make me look like I'm in a VHS box cover. Very bric-a-brac, very Brewed.
Very, very, very much so.
Very inspired by Fright Night with the floating head. Very Iron Maiden-esque, which you and I remember you and I having a Twitter exchange before I ever met you.
Before we ever met, really?
Yeah. We did it was the first thing where I tweeted someone I knew, and it was you, and we were tweeting shit-related Iron Maiden puns. which was silly and indulgent. Yeah.
Number 2 of the Beast.
Number 2 of the Beats.
The Pooper, all that.
Yeah. Die with your shitty boots on. Yeah.
And that was inspired by the fact that when I saw Maiden on the Book of Souls tour many years ago, when I left the show, it was dark. I was walking through the lot. I stepped in human shit on my way into the car. And it was the dead of summer. And I went
My cronut tastes so much better with this conversation.
Yeah. Oh, that was delicious. And the problem with car con carne is when I do have food in the car, I eat it really quickly, not because I'm a pig, but
You're in
because
the car.
Well, no, but because I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to lead an interview, so it's like I got to sneak the food in when I can. So it's disgusting, and I'm not proud of it. But I went with my friend Tony, and he brought his friend whose name I forgot. It's been 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
I apologize. So it's, I think it was like a July or August night. It was super hot out. We're in the car on the way home from Maiden in Tinley Park. I'm driving both these guys back, and I'm thinking, oh my God, these guys fucking stink. Like, I know it was hot out there, but these guys, one of them smells appalling. Like, it was making my flesh crawl. I couldn't believe how I've got the windows down, the AC crank. I'm like, I can't believe how terrible these guys smell. Dropped them off. I got out of the car, and for whatever reason, I looked at the floorboard of my car, covered in excrement. My shoes covered in excrement. So I stepped out of the car. I kicked my shoes off. They were done. Like that was, walked to my front door in my socks. Went out the next morning. Everything had been baked in from the night before.
Oh no!
Yeah. Had to run it through a couple of washes, car washes, like interior detail.
You got to go to more than one.
I did. It was a horror show in here. And I was trying to figure out, like, when on earth in Iron Maiden could I have possibly walked through human excrement? I thought, well, I went to the bathroom, but I would have noticed those bathrooms in Tinley are lit up like the 4th of July. Like, you would see if it was on the floor. As we were walking back to the car, I remember there was this weird dude kind of like hanging out between cars, and I think he had to go, and I think he did it right by my driver's side door.
Well, I mean, the rhyme of the ancient mariner hit him in the right spot, and
I don't think they played the rhyme that night.
He became a power slave.
Yeah, he became. Yeah, so not a proud moment, but that's. I mean, it's a long-winded way to say that's why I was tweeting.
Tell me why I have to shit in this parking lot.
Yeah, it was.
I'm a man. Why can't I live on?
So as you move forward in comedy, and I'm really impressed with how much you've grown your career and accelerated your brand, your presence, all the stuff you've done. How much do you tap into radio? How much of an influence has radio been on what you do?
A lot. There's a good. I have 2 big chunks of material that are like really just dialed. I wouldn't say they're dialed in, but they're loose amalgamations of things. And there's one that I'm definitely going to do on the album. And Lauren O'Neill, actually, of Q101, big sister Lauren O'Neill.
I used to work with her.
Yes, the prom queen of alternative herself.
She is.
Which
is kind of like a Carrie reference as we're outside the Brewed. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I remember she had a party. She had got married in Florida, and then she had a party afterwards. And it was very odd because it was 2 years after I got let go from Q101. And I got to do that bit that she said, just, what about this? You're going to go up and you're going to do your bits. It's all radio people. And she wanted me there. And someone who was involved in me being let go was awkward as, hi, how are you? But we're all drinking. We're G-Man. So, of course, she gets G-Man because she's, knows everybody in town. And she goes, I want you to perform. And you can say whatever you want about me and her great husband, Jay. And I do some bits about them. And I write some jokes just for them. And she goes, maybe a radio bit. And I do this radio bit that was kind of there. But that was the night where I was like, if I do an album, this will be on the album.
Okay.
And I kind of knew it was going to be there.
This is your Freebird.
Yeah. Something very emo. My saying ain't so happens literally while I'm on Q101. Something very, very sad happens. I'm not going to say what it is. So
is this something you shared at the 1000th episode? Yeah, okay.
Maybe if you want to go back and listen to it. Yeah? See, I'm always doing the back sell. So a more refined version of that is going to be on the album, and there's more beats to it and stuff like that, too.
How often do ideas hit you? Do you keep a notebook or a voice notes for
I'm keeping a voice notes. Now it's just so focused on, all right, now I have to finalize all these bits I've been doing forever, and I got to make sure they're right, and hammer. And it does feel like, if you're playing the hits, you got to make sure you nail the hit. You can't just I've done it a million times, whatever. No. This has to be the absolute best version that this has ever been. That's a part of it too, because I have one take at it and people are coming out. And I want it to be a level up thing, right? Do it and then I can come on.
Oh, for sure. We were talking,
but I write down enough stuff. Now it's just about, all right, what's the order going to be and stuff like that too.
Right, the set list.
Yeah, I want to write new stuff. There's a lot of new things I want to talk about too. But I'm also like, all right, there's only so long you can talk about that one breakup from 2016, 2017.
I'm aware I have vanilla crumbs all throughout my facial hair.
I have a beard. I'm saving some of it for later.
Oh, good. You're smart. I mean, comedians, you got to be frugal.
Yes.
You're living check to check sometimes. If you can get those sugar crumbs together.
It's the first of the month.
Right, exactly. Rent's not going to pay itself.
Right.
All right. So, again, the show, part of the Windy City Comedy Festival, it is an album taping with you, Kevin Kellam. It is Kevin in Hell.
Mm-hmm. Do you like the name?
Of course I love the name.
Yeah.
Of course I love the name.
You're someone I would float the name to, probably.
I love wordplay. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer.
I've had that name in my head for years.
It also harkens back to the legendary comeback album from Black Sabbath when Ronnie James Dio took over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, a high watermark for heavy metal, I think.
An underrated record.
Underrated. I've gone as far as to say that side one in particular of that album is one of the best start-to-finish album sides in rock history.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go back and listen. All right. So, again, Kevin in Hell, Lincoln Hall, 9 p.m., August 9th. It is an album taping. Tickets are on sale now. Let's sell this place out and get you a full room so that you can do what you do.
Yeah. Thank you. And just thank you so much for just supporting my my ADD and everything throughout the years and being supportive when we work together at Q101 in the building and outside of it and adjacent.
Here's the thing. I haven't worked... This is probably a technicality, but as far as I'm concerned, I haven't worked at Q101 since 2011.
Okay, really?
Well, yeah, because when we worked together, it was 101 WKQX.
Yeah, you were head of digital stuff, right?
No, I mean that was not Q101.
Okay.
Maybe it's splitting hairs at this point, but the brand was not Q101.
We were 101 WKQX,
right. And it was not run like Q101.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, the entire time I was there, I'm like, really? We don't play Nine Inch Nails? Cool, I get it.
I mean, that's just a little bit too much of this. It's a little bit too much of the hordes up in the air. That's not what we're about.
The station was so without an edge. It was like a playground ball. Like there was.
Wow, you're really okay. All right, I can see what you're saying.
I said this.
I enjoyed it. I felt like I had fun there. I thought I was on air. Right?
I thought musically it was off the mark. I didn't think, and it's very different now. It's Q101 now that James Kurzel's running the show. But there was nothing challenging. Like to me, Q101, and I think the station does it now. They'll play stuff that makes you think, "Oh, what the fuck was that? That was cool." Like, and you feel cooler just for hearing that song.
Yeah,
I don't remember a lot of that during the 101 KQX days.
And maybe just because it's Clark and Carney and people who are Q101 lifers know you, I've never had more encouragement from someone that I've worked for in radio. Outside of you or Lauren than I do for James.
Yeah,
and
he's great.
Where he's taking it and where it's going, and there's some things we heard recently in terms of the business side where you're like, oh, this is working, and you were right and they were wrong.
Yeah,
and then you're also that's somebody who's betting on you, so that makes you feel really really good.
Oh, 100%. And
as a comic, he's like, yeah, you want to do the bets? Do the bets. Like, all right, you'll know if it doesn't work. And it was like the encouragement from that. And then when you get reeled in, you're like, why it isn't clicking or this or that.
That's good management.
And I'm a part-time guy. He's like, no, I want you to do that. Like I thought I would have more strings attached to that as a bench player. And he's like, no, I want that.
It only works if you let your talent take chances. I agree. And I had James Kurzel on this podcast back around Thanksgiving time in 2024. He was great. And I told him then, I'll say it now, the station to me sounds like what I expect Q101 to sound like. And that doesn't mean it's predictable, but I mean that it's predictable in its unpredictability.
Yeah.
I think there are moments where I'm like, oh, what did they just do? Or I can't believe they did that. Or cool, that I didn't expect to hear an interview with that person pop up in the middle of nowhere. Or they're letting the morning show do stuff. Like, it sounds like what I expect from Q101. In all the right ways.
I can float in and pop it and do bits with Brian, Phillips,
exactly,
and Lauren, and it makes sense. I get to be the station Urkel.
Yeah, it doesn't feel prepackaged. It feels like a
No.
living, breathing thing, which it has to be.
Yeah, and I love the passion of like we have a diehard little. We have the crew, which is like the fan club within the fan base, and you have people who are casual about it too, and there's like really cool and fun.
That crew, they've said nice things about me merely because I'm Q101 adjacent, so, which is nice. So shout out to them for sure. Okay, again, we will see you on August 9th. I'll probably see you at wrestling events, haranguing small children, which is a thing you do.
I get in the car. I check. I was like, "How's the family?" He's like, "My son asked how you." I was talking to my son about you yelling at children.
Well, yeah,
that's gonna be in the next record. I'm working on a bit about me yelling at children at wrestling events.
Perfect. Well, no, here's the thing. When my son was much younger, I would take him to WWE events and even AAW events, even Berwyn wrestling events.
AA Dub, dude.
AA Dub.
I'm working for them too. I do commentary, color commentary.
And we would see Kevin. We'd always be in the same area. We all got our tickets from the same source. And Kevin has this thing where he just harasses the kids who bring posters, and if they're cheering for one wrestler, Kevin will take the counterpoint and yell back at them. And so I said to Noah, my son, I had dinner with him last night. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to see Kevin Kellam tomorrow morning. Remember, he's the one who harangues small children at live events. Like, oh yeah.
Haranguer of children.
Haranguer of children. Which sounds almost Viking-like.
That sounds like a B. That's on the B side of Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell.
It is
Haranguer of children.
Right. Exactly.
It goes Children of the Sea into Haranguer of children.
All right, Kevin Kellam, thank you for doing this.
Thank you, James.
And my sponsor, Easy Automation, definitely thanks you.
Absolutely. Easy Automation.
That's easy-automation.net.
That's right.
All right, thank you.
There we go.